Hello everybody, my name is Deborah Ndanu. I'm a 19-year-old Kenyan. I am a law student, just finished my first year, and I'm a millennial on the move. Today we are at the German Embassy Nairobi for the Ambassador of the Day program. So I was able to come here because I participated in a competition which is still called the Ambassador of the Day, which was a competition where one was supposed to release or shoot a 1-minute video talking about what they will do, what gender equality issue in Kenya they would address if they were ambassadors for one day, and I did that. And I was chosen by the German embassy, and here I am today, shadowing the ambassador of Germany to Kenya. If I were ambassador for a day, the key gender inequality issue in Kenya I would like to address would be political empowerment and political inclusion. As a country, we lack a lot of political goodwill that allows women to be fully incorporated in the political space. If we look at our political parties, whenever they hold political trainings for their members to empower them, it's mainly focused on the male gender, and rarely do we have political empowerment trainings for women. If we look at our previous election, only 6 out of 47 elected governors were women. Bearing in mind that that gender rule was introduced in 2010, and 13 years later we can only have 6 elected women governors, is an underachievement, and it is a clear statement that we are yet to have women being fully empowered and being introduced very well into the political space, and then this is a key area that should be looked into. Thank you. Today I am looking forward to learning a lot, meeting new people, new experiences, and just learning, and because I'm interested in the diplomatic space, just having a snippet of what it looks like to work in the diplomatic space. I am interested in international relations and diplomacy because I am one person who loves humanitarian work. This love came back in high school when I was first introduced to the United Nations in my history class, and I became curious and went and did more research on my own on the United Nations. And also, as I continued with my studies, I came along the SDGs, the Sustainable Development Goals of the United Nations 2030, and I came to be very much attracted to climate action, gender equality, and quality education. And this have furthered my passion in diplomacy, international relations, the humanitarian aspect of it, and the desire to make our society better. Yeah.
I'll call the Africa desk at the German Foreign Ministry.
I was born in Makueni back in 2004, but I was raised in Machakos. I went to Machakos Primary School. It is where I started my primary and finished from class 1 to class 8. Back then in primary school, I remember I was a very social kid. Basically, I can talk, and I'm a very confident person. It goes all the way back to primary school. I had so many opportunities back in primary school that built my confidence. After class 8, I got the privilege to join the Alliance Girls High School from my high school, from from Form 1 to Form 4, where I finished last year in April, and currently I am in the University of Embu doing my bachelor's in law. Growing up, I remember I was always a very social kid. I was always up and down, and I always had that confidence, and my parents built it. Yeah, they gave me so many platforms to build my confidence. My family, I am an only child. So my father is a member of the clergy. Yeah, he's a pastor. And my mother is a businesswoman. So I basically grew up in a very small family. I don't have anybody in my family who is in the diplomatic space, but they have allowed me to grow in the spaces that I love. My high school experience was interesting. I would say that it was interesting because it was a space where I met very many different people, people from all walks of life, from the ones who have it all,
the middle, the ones who don't have it all together. It was a space where I grew as a person. It was an opportunity for me to learn. It opened me up, and it gave me the confidence to chase my dreams, because it taught me that dreams are not limited, and if I fix my mind on something, I can get it. So high school basically built my confidence in chasing the things I want, even if I think they're not attainable. I still go for them. The worst that can happen is you'll fail, but you tried. Yeah. I'd always wanted to do law from as back as I can remember, from primary school. It was not an influence from anybody. I'd always wanted to do it. But as I grew up, I started questioning a lot. Do I really want to do it, especially in high school? Because in the back of my head, I was thinking litigation is not for me. I mean, I could not imagine myself in a courtroom defending someone or something like that. And the idea of working in a law firm behind a desk is quite boring. So at the end of it all, after so much thinking and research, I decided to still pursue it. Even when my grades came out, I decided to still apply to do law because I wanted to do it. For me, my dreams, especially career-wise, would be having an opportunity to be a diplomat for my country, represent my country in other countries, and also be very much involved in humanitarian work. Other than being a diplomat, I'm very much involved and interested with the Sustainable Development Goals, especially quality education. Other than gender equality, I'm very much interested with quality education, and that's one thing I'll see that's one end goal. I want to be in a space where I am able to contribute policy-wise into making sure that the structures and the systems we have in Kenya are more sustainable for our future. It basically means Sustainable Development Goals of the United Nations 2030. These are the goals that the United Nations, so the initiative by the United Nations set to attain specific goals to make a sustainable future by 2030. There are around 17. They vary from quality education to end poverty, to no hunger, to climate action, to innovation infrastructure and industries, I'm not sure, technology, I'm not sure, but they vary. There are around 17. And these are initiatives that were introduced for different member states of the United Nations to take into actions to ensure that member states of the United Nations have a sustainable future.
If I were ambassador for a day, the key gender inequality issue in Kenya I would like to address would be political empowerment and political inclusion. As a country, we lack a lot of political goodwill that allows women to be fully incorporated in the political space. If we look at our political parties, whenever they hold political trainings for their members to empower them, it's mainly focused on the male gender, and rarely do we have political empowerment trainings for women. If we look at our previous election, only 6 out of 47 elected governors were women. Bearing in mind that that gender rule was introduced in 2010, and 13 years later we can only have 6 elected women governors, is an underachievement, and it is a clear statement that we are yet to have women being fully empowered and being introduced very well into the political space, and then this is a key area that should be looked into. Thank you.
My highlight of the day was the King's Day by the Ambassador of Netherlands to Kenya. It was a reception by the Ambassador of Netherlands. It was amazing because there were many ambassadors and big people around very different sectors. So it was an eye-opening experience, and that was my key highlight. Hello everybody, my name is Deborah Ndanu. I'm a 19-year-old Kenyan. I am a law student, just finished my first year, and I'm a millennial on the move. Today we are at the German Embassy Nairobi for the Ambassador of the Day program. I am shadowing the ambassador for today.
Deborah, you start with the presentation. She's part of my delegation, so... Yeah.
The first meeting with the ambassador, he had a delegation from Germany, business delegation from Germany, and the key thing that I picked out was the importance of African countries. As much as most European countries come to invest, as African countries, we should learn to partner with them and build a business environment that will promote different types of business in our country together with them. Other than them just being investors, they can be partners. That was my key take home from that meeting. Yeah. My highlight of the day was the King's Day by the Ambassador of Netherlands to Kenya. It was a reception by the Ambassador of Netherlands. It was amazing because there were many ambassadors and big people around very different sectors. So it was an eye-opening experience, and that was my key highlight.
So we have a special guest also, the Ambassador of the Day, Deborah, who is with us today. She won a competition to be part of the team for one day. It's also policy to push a little bit the gender and women's cause here in Kenya, because all of the ambassadors of the day are women. So the British, the Netherlands, and some other embassies are participating.
I think one thing that I would say is interesting about being an ambassador will be meeting very many different people and going to very many different places. I mean, I love traveling, I love new places, I love meeting new people. So I think that's one very interesting thing I can say is that as being an ambassador, you get to meet different people and you get to pick a lot from different people. If you want to be in this space, I mean, I cannot say there's a specific way because I believe everybody's journey is different. For me, I'm not doing international relations and diplomacy, but if this is what you feel you want to do, you can go to that area, do international relations and diplomacy. Also, I will encourage anybody, especially if you're in the campus space and you're looking for a place where you can be exposed to diplomacy. Kenya Model United Nations is one very key area that will expose you to diplomacy and international relations. So you can start with looking for opportunities because they are there for you to learn and be exposed to this area. I would say the ambassador, His Excellency Sebastian Groth, is a very easygoing person so far. That's one thing I could pick. He's not stoic, he's very easygoing, and it's very easy to interact with him. I have picked that up from my interactions with him and also how I've seen him interact with people around him so far. Yeah. I know we have been doing gender empowerment for the longest for women, and I think for me, especially in political spaces, one thing I think we can highly do with political empowerment for women, them being trained, them being taught on how to navigate the political space, and them being given the avenue to do it. Having political goodwill, because as Africans, we lack a lot of political goodwill that allows women to participate in these spaces. If we have more political goodwill that allows women to participate in these places, we will reduce the disparities that are there in the political space.
So for those positions where locals can work, are there opportunities for internship in those specific areas?
Unfortunately, no. The internship program is actually run from Berlin. So we have a portal for interns. They apply in Berlin and put all their CVs and everything there. So I access the portal, go through the CVs and choose. So mainly the internship will be offered in the economic section, in the political section for Somalia, politics Kenya, culture and press. For locals, unfortunately, we don't. mainly because of the same thing, the clearance, the security clearance. That is one of the reasons why we cannot offer internship to locals.
Okay, that's okay. I have a more personal question.
Sure.
Why did you decide to work here? Why the German embassy?
Why the German embassy? Well, I have a background in learning German. I did education, German and business studies at KU. And later on also did professionalize the language at Goethe, and then also did a master's in German studies at Nairobi University. So I had the language aspect, the cultural aspect, so when I found a position here, I applied for it, and at least I'm able to use my language and mainly now in terms of culture, understanding the Germans and all, because I have that background and it makes my life easier working here, and at least I'm doing what I studied to do. So, yeah.
Most people tend to think that because I'm social and I'm confident and I can talk, I prefer being in loud and crazy places, but no, I prefer quiet places. I don't like loud, noisy places. Yeah. Just a quick fun fact. I did German in high school. If I were to be an animal, what animal would I like to be? I think a lion. I mean, it's bold. The boldness, yeah. You can mainly find me on Instagram, so that's the main social handle I'll give, and that's Deborah_Ndanu. That's how you can easily find me. And my mantra is do it fearless, and I go with this mantra because I believe in doing it despite of everything. So do it even if you think you'll fail. If you fail, it's okay, you can try again. And if you're fearless, you will not be afraid of failing and picking yourself up again. So do it fearless. I think one key thing that I have picked out in the past few years will be, as much as you're pursuing your dreams and you are pushing hard to get, the bag, and you're pushing hard to be successful, don't forget that family and friends are important. Sometimes we will be too focused on achieving goals, we forget that family and friends will be there to hold you when things go hard. So yeah, don't forget your relationships, they are important.